Hi, I'm Cameron, the founder and CEO of Goast.ai, and I'm going to show you how to use the Goast VS Code extension. Here I am in VS Code. I don't have anything open yet, and in order for Goast to work, I need to open some code, so I'm going to open a project now. This is a React starter app, just so I can demonstrate the features of the extension without it being too complicated. Now that I have the project open in VS Code, I'll install Goast. If I click here, I can search for extensions. I'll search for Goast, G-O-A-S-T, and click Install. There's a bunch of important info on this page, so read through it if you have time. Now that it's installed, I can click the Goast icon in the activity bar. To use the Goast extension, you need an OpenAI key. Go to platform.openai.com to generate a token. Go to your profile and click on View API Keys. Then click on Create a new secret key and Create secret key. Then copy this and we'll put it into the Goast settings. Next, we can click Run Goast. It'll look through your project and generate a project description. Here's the project description. If you want, you can make edits using the edit icon, regenerate, thumbs down, or thumbs up. But this looks good for now. Let's ask Goast to do something. I'll ask it to add the text Hello Universe on the main component. At this point, it's looking at the project structure and trying to figure out which files to edit. Here's what it came back with. On their own, these steps are often good for evaluating how you might make a change. But in addition to that, you can have it generate the change for you by clicking View Diff. I'll click that now. It will generate the diff once and then save it. So if you want it to regenerate for any reason, you should click the Regen button. Here's the diff. I can go through and revert any parts of the diff and make any changes that I want, and then save to accept the changes to my code base. Here it seems to have removed a line, so I can just add that back. And this is the line it changed. If I didn't want it to change the file and just add it, I could copy and paste it over to the right. But let's just accept this for now. So I'll save the file, and that will accept the change. For each of the steps, sometimes there's more than one that's generated. You can delete any steps that don't make sense. You can edit a step to change the file or the instructions, and also thumbs down or thumbs up to give us feedback. Now we'll go to the settings page to explain what each of the settings does so you can fine-tune how the extension works for you. First is the Goast Ignore File Patterns. This is so you can specify any files that are in your project that shouldn't be sent to Goast that aren't important. The more that's sent, the higher the cost will be. You can also use your gitignore files. So if you have gitignore files, it'll automatically ignore any of those files. Next, we have the maximum search depth. When the extension is looking at files and trying to determine where to make an edit, it'll look at references to files. This limits the amount of steps that it'll take from a single file through these references. Usually it'll stop on its own, but just in case, we have this value here. Next is the OpenAI key, which you put in, use gitignore, and always use GPT-4. There are multiple requests that are made for each prompt that you put into Goast, and it tries to use GPT 3.5 as much as it can. But checking this will turn on GPT-4 for every request. Oftentimes, I find that the results are definitely better, but it does increase the cost and the time for the request to come back. We have these two other options, use GPT-4 for diff generation and use GPT-4 for instruction generation, which we've separated out because we found that we get much better results if we use GPT-4 for these steps. But you can always uncheck it if you want it to try to use GPT 3.5. Finally, at the bottom here, you can see your total spend so far. This is an estimate of the cost based on the number of tokens you've used so far. Thanks for watching. I hope the extension helps you build your project. If you have any problems or successes, feel free to reach out to support@goast.ai. We'll try our best to help you in whatever way you need. Thanks.